Join Edwin Frondozo on the Business Leadership Podcast every week for a unique program featuring insights and actionable items from the world's most successful business leaders. Hear firsthand the exclusive interviews and personal journeys on how today's transformational leaders made it to the top.
Hey everybody, how are you doing? Thank you for joining me on the Business Leadership Podcast. This is a special episode, a championship episode, and I wanted to dedicate this episode to the one and only Kawhi Leonard, the leader, the championship, the NBA championships, Toronto Raptors. But before getting in, I just want to give a shout out to my partners, True Shield Insurance, for supporting this broadcast and helping me bring it to you. For those who are new to my show, I am from Toronto. I bleed red. I bleed purple is what I like to tell people, because the Toronto Raptors used to have purple in their colors. But the Toronto Raptors unseated the two-time Golden State Warriors early last week to win the cup, the Larry O'Brien Cup of the NBA championships. So I wanted to really talk about Kawhi Leonard, who was the superstar player the Toronto Raptors acquired over the offseason in a trade, and just to really specifically talk about some of his leadership traits that I find super fascinating, whether it's in sports or in business. First off, one thing that I really noticed watching him over the year and throughout the playoffs is that he really doesn't concern himself with anyone else. He doesn't worry about what the media says, what coaches say, what everyone's saying. He often was asked by media, like, how do you compare yourself? He would be like, you know what? I don't know anything about that. All I could do is focus on me, focus on being the best player I can be on the court, and live the day and just have fun and just do you. It's such an amazing attitude when it comes to sports. And I think about myself, I think about business and all the amazing business leaders that I interviewed. It's so easy to get caught up with the hype, with the media, with what other companies are doing, what other business leaders are doing. But the only thing you can control is what you can do, what you can bring to the game, to the business, to your workplace, is always just being the best player possible. Another thing I notice is he always stays in the moment. He tries not to look too back at the last play or what the next play is. He's just within the moment, true zen, true mindfulness, something that I even sometimes struggle for, because I daydream about what I need to do, what work I need to do, or some of the goals that I need to be. But something that, not that hampered him, but he's a free agent in the offseason, and everyone always asks him, so where are you going to be? Are you going to resign? Are you going to do this? And he used always just comment, listen, I'm just in the moment. I'm not even worrying about that. I just want to be here. So along the same lines of not worrying about anything else, just live in the moment. The one thing I really super love about this, and I see it across many amazing business leaders, is he is so humble. He has no social media. He doesn't care for that. He just wants to bring his A game to the team. He wants to share the limelight. He knows he can't do it alone. So he always thanks his teams. He has a great group of guys. And at the end of the day, he goes home, spends his time with the family, and he's offline and just being in the moment with his family. It's such an amazing trait. It's a champion's trait of Kawhi Leonard. So Kawhi Leonard, I hope you stay. I hope you stay in Toronto. I'd be very upset if you end up leaving. But of course, I understand. You got to do you. You don't worry about anything else. But I think we could build a dynasty up here in the North. #We the North. Thank you for joining me on the special episode, the championship episode of the Business Leadership Podcast, where I just wanted to give my tribute to the superstar Kawhi Leonard. Thank you again. We'll continue with the regular scheduled programming within the NBA offseason next week. I'll see you all soon.
Thank you for listening to the Business Leadership Podcast at thebusinessleadership.com.